back to my channel. I hope you're all doing super duper well today. Welcome back. I feel like I have not filmed in so freaking long because I don't even know how many. I think it's been like 2 weeks since I last uploaded a video. But basically, I was in Hawaii and I didn't pre-film anything. And because before I went to Hawaii, crazy ass week. B, I was just trying to get my life sorted and together. I was a bit of a mess, super unorganized. I just kind of needed a little bit of time to kind of gather myself, reorganize my life, and motivate myself. Mind you, I've kind of been more motivated in recent weeks / a couple months because I've kind of changed. My life's kind of done a little bit of a 360, so I've kind of started looking after myself and everything. But if you guys want a life update video or you want me to talk more about it and share more about what's been happening with you guys, leave a comment down below. As always, I need you guys to let me know so I know that you guys actually want to see it. But yeah, today I am going to be filming a video. I don't really know how this look is going to turn out just yet, but all I know is that I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. It is super pretty. I actually bought this while I was in Hawaii. I don't really buy much makeup just because I have so much hair that I need to use. But I really like the colors in this, and I love how there's a lot of greens. So I'm drifting to something more on the greeny emerald side. So we'll see how that goes. Before I started filming, I was like, okay, I need to dress up. I need to look all nice, but I just can't do that. I cannot dress up and make myself look super fancy, like, because I'm just, on a normal day, I'm just such a basic bitch that it's just like, it feels awkward for me to dress up for no apparent reason. But yeah, decided to keep it real in a hoodie, which I am in every day when I'm not in my pajamas. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not too sure yet if I'm going to do a talk through or voiceover. Voiceovers usually are a lot quicker because I talk way too much, as you can tell already. But yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so you know your skin is dry AF when you have to use a face mask as a moisturizer. I'm taking the Origin's Drink Up Intensive face mask and applying this all over my face. My skin will just soak this right up and it will act as a perfect moisturizer. Next, we are prepping our eyes for eyeshadow, and as always, I'm taking my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre and applying that all over my eye, and then setting that in place with some face powder. So the one thing I wish this palette had was a lighter transition color. So it didn't have that, so I took the Urban Decay eyeshadow in the shade Buck and applied this into my socket with it's not really a pencil brush, it's a bit bigger than a pencil brush, but it didn't work for me anyway, so I took my favorite Zoeva Luxe blending brush and blended that all out. I then took this MAC eyeliner in the shade Undercurrent. Okay, so I've had this pencil for years and it's pretty much expired, as you can see. Barely anything came on. I was really struggling here, so that went into the bin right after this, but I just applied that all over my lid and blended that out. I wanted this to act as a base for the eyeshadow, but I realized after this that I didn't really need it because it's just so pigmented anyway. Like, look at that. I literally have to stretch my eyelid to blend this out. It's terrible. So taking the Subculture palette, I'm taking the shade Axis and I'm applying this right on to my lid and just packing that on. I literally didn't even need to apply much, but I was just so shocked with how pigmented it was. I just need to stop and say I did not expect it to be that pigmented. Wow. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm very pleasantly surprised right now. I did not expect that. This is like a straight pigment, you guys. I then took the same Zoeva brush I was using before and used that to blend out those edges. These eyeshadows actually as well blended out really well, which I was also surprised with. I thought that'd be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I underestimated the pigment of these eyeshadows, obviously, as I said. This was so pigmented. I applied fudge into my crease and it really was pigmented, so I had to apply Axis all over again, but then I took a clean blending brush and buffed out those edges. A word of advice with these eyeshadows, a little bit definitely goes a long way, so add a tiny bit first, and then if you need more, just add to your desired opacity. And for the brow bone highlight, I applied the shade Cube. This was really pretty. I thought it would be a little bit more of a white shade, but it had like an iridescent purple behind it. It was really nice. I then just wiped all of that fallout away with a wet wipe. And then for brows, I used the Ardell Brow Building Fiber Gel, which I love. I freaking love this thing. I use this when I don't really feel like filling in my brows. But then I had a few sparse areas, so I just took my Ardell brow powder and filled out mainly just the ends of my brows. For foundation, I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. This is the shade Tan, because I'm actually really tan right now, but you can't see that because I'm wearing a jumper. But I applied this all over my face, and I've used this a few times, and I found the best way to blend this out is with a beauty blender, as it is quite thick. I used a brush the first time I used it, and the product didn't really move around that well, so I prefer to use it with a beauty blender. So I tried out a new concealer today. This one is by Morphe, and I just applied this Heidi, underneath my eyes and brought it down to the center of my face. Also applied it to my chin, my forehead, and down the bridge of my nose. And then as always, blending this out with a damp beauty blender. This thing is my favorite thing in the world, but of course I don't need to tell you that. But I found that this concealer was a little bit too light because I did use a tan foundation. So what I like to do, this is like a secret little trick. I take the end of the beauty blender, the part that I blended out the foundation with, and I dab that on top of the concealer, and it kind of darkens it and blends it in with the foundation a little bit better. I'm then adding a little bit of a liquid highlighter. This one is by Iconic London. I applied this to the tops of my cheekbones, to the sides of my forehead, aka my temples, also a little bit to the tip of my nose, and a little bit onto my chin, and then blended that all out with my damp beauty blender as well. And this adds a really nice luminosity to my dry ass skin. I then set my under eyes in place with my Laura Mercier loose translucent powder as always, and then cut my contour ever so slightly. Moving back onto the eyes, I'm taking this black eye crown by Dose of Colors. This is from their new Minted collection. I'm applying this into the waterline of both my eyes and also bringing that down to the lower lash line. I really want these eyes to be really smoky, smoldering, and sultry. So I brought that down and then blended that out with a flat definer brush. Sultry actually wasn't the right word to use. I want these to be smoky, smoldering, and fierce. After I blended that out a little bit, I then took a little bit more of Axis and applied that right on top, and then blended that out with a pencil brush. And then to finish that off, I took a little bit, like a very slight amount of fudge, and blended out the green, just to give it a little bit more of like a gradient. And for lashes, I'm wearing the Ardell Faux Mink lashes in the style 118. I absolutely love these. Moving back on to the face, I'm taking my Make Up Forever Pro Finish powder and using that to dust off all of that powder on my face. Moving on to the lips, I'm first lining my lips with this lip liner by Colourpop. I'm not sure of the exact shade, but I'll be sure to leave it down below as always. I then applied a liquid lipstick by Milani Joy as well. I'll leave the exact shade down below, but I really liked this liner and liquid lip combo. I'm so devastated I've hit pan on my Benefit Hoola Lite. This is actually my favorite bronzer. But anyway, I've applied this into the hollows of my cheekbones and brought it around to the sides of my forehead. And then taking the Maybelline Master Blush palette, I'm taking the second shade and applying that over the apples of my cheeks and bringing it up ever so slightly. I also used this highlighter by Milani Joy. I wet my brush because I prefer using this when it's wet because it is a loose highlighter. But I applied that to the tops of my cheekbones and blended that out. I also applied that to the sides of my temples and a tiny bit to the tip of my nose and bridge of my nose as well. And that's it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you love the look as much as I do. I had so much fun creating it and I cannot wait to wear this out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Let me know what else you'd like to see in the comments down below. Like this video if you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.